We talked earlier about how bad Arizona drivers are. I don't know though. Do you think drivers are worse in Arizona than other places you have been?
No, because I lived in 2 states that have the worst drivers, so I have nothing to compare it to.
But honestly, when you came here from New Mexico,
Yes.
think
it's a lot more aggressive. I can tell you that.
aggressive how?
A lot more faster drivers, and like in New Mexico, it's called the land of mañana for a reason. Everybody goes slow. Everybody doesn't do the right directions. It's
Really?
just like, yes, it's like everybody's like in their own la la land. But I guess here I've noticed that it's a lot more, everybody's on the go. Everybody's got to
Yeah.
get somewhere. Everybody's going fast. Everybody's trying to get in front of you. So it's a lot more aggressive, I guess you could say.
I'll tell you what's interesting is depending on where you are, what's acceptable. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because here, it's like I drive fast, but I hate impolite people. If you need to merge, I'm gonna let you merge.
Yeah.
If you put your signal on to change lanes, I'll flash my headlights. So I'm telling you, go ahead, get over. You know what? I'm not.
Yeah, we're all trying to get somewhere at the same time.
Right.
It's just like get out of the way.
But I
Go,
do have
go.
an expectation. If I let you in front of me, you better keep up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Don't
for
get in
sure.
front of me and drive slow.
Yes.
But other places when traffic is bad, accept things we won't accept. I was going to watch, went and watched the D-backs last week when I left early and I shouldn't have.
Yes.
But when we got off the 10 on 7th Street to go south on 7th Street to go to the stadium. And I don't know why they don't do this, but they don't. They should have cops at every intersection between the freeway and the stadium to keep it moving because the lights aren't synchronized. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we sat at that light, and what happened was people turning left or going south on 7th Street were blocking the traffic for everybody else. They got stuck in the middle of the intersection. And people lose their minds when you do that. You know what I mean?
Well, people are stuck in like parking garages and stuff
Right.
like that. Yeah.
But if you block traffic, when you're in New York, that's every intersection every day.
I could never.
And nobody cares. They don't pay attention to lanes.
That's why people don't
They double park to make deliveries.
drive there.
Well, because that's just how it's a nightmare there. Everybody's involved in the same nightmare. So when you're stuck in an intersection in Manhattan, nobody is screaming at you because everybody's stuck in the intersection of
Yeah,
Manhattan. You just
everybody's
know that
doing
time
it,
of day,
dealing
it's a
with it.
nightmare. So it's just acceptable. You know that I was in Paris. I have never seen people drive as bad as they drive in Paris. Ever.
That was the most bougie thing I've heard you say, Mike Broomhead. The drivers in Paris are just horrid. My goodness. I cannot handle it, Patricia and Pablo.
It was
I don't know,
awful.
That's what I heard.
I guess I shouldn't tell you.
Paris was awful.
How about this? You want me to make it worse?
What? Did you
And
go
it's
have lunch
even-
at the Louvre? Or
No,
whatever?
it's even
Or
worse.
is that a museum?
It's even worse on the Champs-Élysées.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
You don't say.
I
Michael.
don't say. But listen, I'm telling you, we were on buses. We were on tour buses.
That's the way to do it
And
in those cities.
it was, it had the full glass front in the bus where the driver sits. And they ride around on scooters in Paris because the traffic is so bad. And I think the scooters kind of have the right of way and they zip in and out of traffic. Nobody pays attention to lanes. If you're in the right lane and you got to turn left,
scary.
you just turn. Nobody cares. We had those scooters in front of our bus. We were doing 45 miles an hour. And they were so close, you couldn't see the back of the scooter in front of the bus.
Oh, that's scary.
I've never seen anything like it.
And everybody was just going.
Right. And
That's
nobody,
nerve-wracking.
but nobody was honking. Like you would get in a fist fight here.
Yeah.
If you block an intersection here, you're going to get the horn honked. You give that person the finger, they're getting out and there's going to be a fight. You just don't do it. It's impolite. In New York, no one cares. I shouldn't say no one cares. It's just not a big deal.
And nobody. And what is it going to do to get in a fight? Nothing.
Nothing. But
Everybody's-
it's just what's acceptable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
Like here, you see someone doing 90 on the freeway, no one cares.
You know what? And also here, like you said, people go fast. You have to keep up with traffic. Like it could be 60 miles an hour, but he's going 80.
Yeah, I was driving the other day and a car went past me. I know I shouldn't say this. Okay, this isn't a true story. This is hypothetical. This didn't really happen. I wasn't paying attention. I was driving on the 101, and a car went past me, and I wasn't in the left lane. And they drove past me like I was standing still.
Wow.
And I looked down, and I was doing 84 miles an hour. Hypothetically.
That's scary.
This car had to be doing 100. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so here, that kind of speed's acceptable. If you drove that fast on a Florida freeway, the Florida Highway Patrol would pit you, arrest you, and take you to jail.
You know, a perfect example is on your way in from Tucson. When I was driving on my way in from going back home, I was on the I-10, and there's this guy speeding past everybody, weaving it out. You can't go anywhere. Everybody was like stalled in traffic. He almost sideswiped me. But yeah,
how do you feel? How do you guys feel about the motorcycles that drive between the lanes?
Oh, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
as long as they give me a. I like the ones that can give me like a Harley or something that I hear the motors coming.
You can hear them coming.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm very cognizant of motorcycle drivers actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of people always complain about them going first when it's a stoplight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't understand. They can get hit from the back more often than not. So I don't mind.
I was going south on Scottsdale Road on my bike one day on a weekend. And
I didn't know you had a bike. I didn't know.
I used to. I sold it. So I was going south on South Scottsdale Road on my bike approaching Shea. And the light was just getting ready to turn red, and a car just almost pulled out in front of me. You know what I mean? And not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
So I slowed down real quick, and I got next to the car, and the guy was so apologetic. He said, I've owned a motorcycle my whole life.
Yeah.
I've never done that before. I didn't see you. I'm so sorry. And I was like, how could I get mad at this poor guy? He felt worse than I did. I laughed. I'm like, stuff happens. And that's the other thing. If somebody cuts me off, if you just say, hey, sorry, give the wave. Just do the wave. Yeah. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
No sweat.
Exactly.
But if you cut me off and then give me the finger, I'm going to follow you home.
Don't do that. No, Michael Broomhead, you will not.
Call me first, Mike.
Hypothetically. But am I wrong?
No, you're not. I've been there. I am totally there.
How instantly road rage turns into a friendly conversation when someone just says, hey, sorry about that.
My bad. Sorry, I didn't see you.
I've cut somebody off on accident on the freeway. I'll slow down and go, hey, sorry. Sorry. You know, I just.
Or give the oops.
Yeah.
My bad, I'm sorry.
But yeah, so you're cool with the bikers going in? And me too, man.
Me too.
I'm all for bikers.
But like you said, when they do reckless things like popping wheelies and stuff
those aren't the right. Those are like the.
It scares
and
me.
Here's
the Harley guys. Those are the.
Here's a trick I learned. I have a friend, and she says she's not a very good driver. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But that's a gender thing.
Michael.
I'm joking, but she has a bumper sticker that says, "Student driver, please be patient."
She's not a
student driver.
But she wants.
Smart.
Yes.
Smart.
She's
that
already.
Means just give me some patience, guys.
You know what I do? I've seen the sticker that says "baby" in this B. And I'm like, watch out, because baby in this B. I'm like, all right, I'll be okay.
Yes, because I was planning to drive over your baby on board and your family of 3.
Thanks for watching the Mike Broomhead Show. Catch up on Amazing Arizonans, a KTAR News podcast, and click the button in the middle to subscribe.